Chapter 23. Farjack woke up from his dream in the alley. It was night time again. He and Holly had slept all the way through the day. A street light buzzed on and off behind him. A full moon, round and white as a saucer of milk, shone comfortably up above, but it was quickly smothered by street black clouds. Farjack really needed to go to the litter tray. He needed the toilet. Holly was fast asleep, and he was still on Sally Bones' territory, so he needed to be careful. Well, it was all outside, wasn't it? The whole world was his litter tray. He could go to the toilet wherever he pleased. He slouched out of the shadows and did his business by a heap of rubbish. What a relief that was. His awareness tingled. The fur on the back of his neck prickled. It felt like he was being watched. He swiveled to face the top of the alley and immediately wished he hadn't. A thin, white cat sat there. She was menacingly licking her claws, or sharpening them, watching him with one ice blue eye. Where the other eye should be was just an empty socket. Her fur was spotless clean, but around her was a smell of darkness, of dank and deadly things and places. By her side prowled a dozen street cats, thick-necked and bristling, grimy as the city itself. They were all bigger than the white cat, but somehow they looked like soft little kittens next to her. "Good, was it, Sonny?" she asked. Farjack couldn't answer. He kept staring at her, unable to speak. She was all muscle and bone. He could see her ribs. They jutted out as if they were trying to escape from her. She's that scary. "Now, this isn't your territory," she said, flexing her bone-white claws. "And you shouldn't ever do what you've just done all over someone else's territory, especially if that someone is me." She smiled a crooked smile, but her single eye stayed cold and hard. He had no doubt who he was looking at. No wonder poor Tam was so terrified of Sally Bones. "Speak when the boss talks to you," growled Stripy Tom with slash marks all over his face. Farjack recognized him straight away. It was Razor. Holly stood up beside Farjack. He didn't mean it," she said. "He's new here." Her legs were quivering, but her voice was quite steady. "New, is he?" said the thin white cat. Her tail swished angrily. She nodded at the Stripy Tom. "Razor, why wasn't I told about this?" The Tom began to shake. I didn't think it was important, boss. He's just a pet." The air seemed to shimmer for a moment, and then Razor howled, and clutched his face. There was a fresh, new slash mark across one side, and the white cat's claws were tipped with blood. "It's not your job to think, Razor," she hissed. "It's your job to tell me everything. And if you can't do your job, I'll find someone else who can, understand?" Razor nodded, still clutching his face. In that moment of quiet, Farjack could hear his own heart thumping in his throat. "Now get some information out of this new cat," spat Sally Bones. "I have a feeling he's something to do with the vanishings. Luger and Wes, you two watch his little friend." Razor and the other two cats came towards Farjack and Holly. Holly's ears began to twitch nervously. "Why couldn't you wait till we got home?" she whispered. "We've had it now." "We could make it over those walls," said Farjack, searching for a way out. "They'd only catch us. At least